Hello everybody and welcome back to No Man's Sky. Today I want to share something really awesome with you guys. I know many of you are playing this game regularly and plan on getting better stuff in it, like cool multi-tools, starships and freighters. That's why in the past few days I've searched for the most accessible and easy to get places where you can find all of these. The guide itself is mostly aimed towards PC players, since it seems that this community is a little bit behind the PS4 one, but don't worry, even if you're a console player, I will post links that will help you out with your search. So I've split this video into 3 parts, one for multi-tools, one for starships and one for freighters. In each part I will show you portal coordinates as well as guiding you towards how to acquire these goodies. Each section will contain 3 alternatives, so it will be 3 multi-tools, 3 starships and 3 locations to get freighters into, all of course different from one another. The reason I'm doing this is that so you guys have options to pick from, and at the same time I also didn't want to go too overboard with too many confusing options and places to find all of these. Before starting, I will mention that depending on how many of these items on this list you're planning to acquire, you'll more or less want a lot of units. So if you're planning to buy all of these, you'll probably need close to 700 million, because a single multi-tool on this list will cost roughly 8 million, a ship somewhere around 30 to 110 million, and the maximum freighter that you can get is the most expensive on the list, which is 500 million units. So be prepared with a lot of units in your pockets. So yeah, if you don't have all the necessary cash at hand, you'll most probably want to buy whatever you can afford right now and come later on and check the video out when you have enough to afford it. No matter what, this will be useful for you even if you don't outright buy everything right now. So without further ado, let's begin. For the sake of simplicity, I'll start with multi-tools, and this section will be the easiest, as most multi-tools I'm about to show you are very close to portals. It was a deliberate decision to pick multi-tools that are really close to portals so that you won't have to spend too much time acquiring them. There are many more coordinates out there for all types of multi-tools, so if you are planning to hunt something different than what I'm about to show you, there's already links in the description box, so go ahead and check those out. The first multi-tool on the list is the one that I own right now. This was discovered by a member of the Amino Hub. He's also a viewer on this channel, not sure if he's still around, but thanks to him we've got probably the best system out there in the game that guarantees you 2 types of very advanced multi-tools. Both of them are guaranteed to have the maximum rank and slots as well. To get it, find the portal, enter the glyph coordinates shown on the screen, and it should get you to a beautiful frozen planet with a lot of communication stations, both on the portal itself as well as very far into the distance. What you need to do is climb on the hills in front of it, and you should see some comm stations roughly 30 minutes away from you. That is basically the location you need to go to in order to acquire this beauty. Going by Nomad will take you roughly 15 minutes, and I suggest you go with this approach, because if you go by foot you're gonna waste a lot of time. The road ahead is really bumpy and filled with trees, so it's a little bit bumpy but definitely worth it. Once you have reached the spot, make sure to save your game over there. This is very important. So in this location, as I've said, there are 2 max rank multi-tools that can spawn, either the experimental one, which is also the first one that spawns when you get there, either the alien one, which is the one that I own. You can take whichever of these ones you want. If you don't like the experimental one and instead aim for the alien one, you just need to reload your save game. That is why I've said this is important. You need to save game in that location so you don't have to travel this much, and now you will be able to get the same multi-tool that I have, but be careful that these cost 7.5 million units, minus of course the cost of your current multi-tool, so be sure to have enough at hand to afford it. If you plan to come in this system altogether, there's also an easier way to do this, and it's a little bit faster. There's also a base roughly 5 minutes away from the portal, and you can go ahead and claim it. This system doesn't really hold a base for anybody, and after you claim it, just bring your ship over and go to the location with your ship. It will be much faster, and you'll get to explore the system as well if that is what you want to do. Personally, I already had a base claimed somewhere else, and I didn't want to lose that. That's why I went with an exocraft, but it's definitely definitely possible for you to claim a base over here, bring your ship and go over there like that. Second on the list, there's another double choice place even closer to the portal, and this was found by the Reddit user called Infinity Drags. He's found many amazing discoveries before, but this time you get the choice between a max rank experimental like the previous one we had, or a max rank pistol. So typically it's the pistol that spawns first, and reloading the game will yield you the experimental multi-tool. So if you just want the experimental multi-tool altogether, I think this option is much faster than the first one. Also keep an eye out for 3 pods that are on the way towards the outpost that holds these multi-tools. There are 3 inventory expansion pods all set up and marked up in a straight line towards the outpost itself. If you don't have all the inventory slots fully upgraded, this could probably be the perfect opportunity for you to take advantage of this and basically shoot 2 birds with 1 stone. I advise you to also go by Exocraft like before. It's much faster and easier, and of course it's much more fun to do it this way. Last but not least, we have a different type of max rank multi-tool. This time it's a rifle, and while this doesn't have bonuses as good as the alien or the experimental multi-tool, it's still a very good choice. This is even closer to the portal than any of the previous ones on the list, so if you want to have something a little bit different than what I have or most people have, then a rifle could definitely do the trick, and it definitely looks good. It definitely has a very nice model over there, so you can go ahead and grab it, but just keep in mind it is not really as good as the experimental or the alien one. Moving over to Starships, I'm gonna start the list with a guaranteed Squid ship. Since many people like different ship types, I decided to pick up 3 different ones that are rather easy to get. First, we'll start with probably the only guaranteed spawn in the entire universe of No Man's Sky. In the Galactic Hub, there lies a very interesting space station that guarantees to spawn an exotic Squid ship. To get it, either take the portal coordinates and do the base streak over there and get your ship in, or if you're in the Galactic Hub already, just warp over there. It's really close to the main region. Upon reaching the system, land inside the space station and reload your save. The very first starship that will spawn over there will be the exotic Squid ship. Keep in mind that while it's always going to be there, the number of inventory slots as well as the layout itself will vary. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to just reload until you get the perfect layout and the maximum amount of slots. When you find the one that has 20 inventory slots, you're pretty much done. It's the maximum amount an exotic ship will spawn, so it's probably the best one we're ever gonna get, and it looks pretty awesome. It's not really that expensive since its inventory is rather low, so it's more like a token that you can get for yourself, and it's really cool. I like how it looks, and that's why I put it on the list. Second on the list is of course my beautiful blue ship. I know many of you guys love fighter jets, that's why the next on the list is my very own blue max rank jet fighter. It can be found in a system very close to the Galactic Hub. It's one jump away from it inside a wealthy system. You can farm it inside the space station, but I found mine down on the planet on a trading post. Typically A class spawns really easily, but to get the maximum rank it will take you a few hours, so be prepared for some nerve-wracking farming, because it will take you some time. Even though it is the maximum wealth that you can get in a system, it's still a 2% chance to spawn. Nonetheless, if you reload your game over and over again, it will eventually be there. The chance is the highest possible since this system is wealthy, but that might still require quite a lot of patience and waiting. I have spent probably days here just waiting for the S-class ship to drop. If you don't really aim for the maximum rank, you can definitely pick the A since it's still good. It's all worth it in the end, as it looks both amazing and it has very good stats. So yeah, if you really want this one, stay over here and farm it until you get it. It's definitely worth it, trust me. Last but not least, in the ship category, we have a maximum slot hauler. This is mostly for people who want to do a lot of trading or simply store a lot of their stuff in some massive inventory dropship. You hunt for it in a similar way as the previous ship. Simply go to that system down at the trading post. Of course, you will have the portal coordinates over there to go there, as well as means to get there if you're already in the Galactic Hub. If you're in the Galactic Hub or if you've used the portal, enter into your Discoveries tab and click on it, so you always have the waypoint over there. I found this to spawn fairly easily. It's just a few minutes. I think max rank haulers have a much higher chance to spawn than most other ships. I Either that or I'm just extremely lucky with haulers in general. Nonetheless, this beautiful big beast probably has the best wings out there. It also has a beautiful color and it basically looks like a legit dropship. So be careful since it has many inventory slots. Its price is a staggering 120 million plus. So yeah, you'd better have those units at hand because this will get really expensive. Max slot haulers are the most expensive spaceships out there. The game doesn't take into account any of the bonuses at all. All they care about is the amount of inventory slots that you have, so that's what increases the price so exponentially. Third and final on the list is freighter. This will be the most expensive thing you'll ever set your eyes upon in No Man's Sky. A max rank 34 slot supermassive freighter will cost roughly 500 million units, of course minus the cost of your already existing one if you have it. This is the only one on this list that will require something more than just units and luck. You'll need to have played the game for 3 straight hours and warped 6 times before a fight would spawn, and even when the fight spawns it doesn't guarantee that the freighter of your choice spawns, and then you also have to look at its stats. So I won't go into too much details in this video as there is already a video on this that I have done a while back, so I'm going to go ahead and link it somewhere. You're gonna see it on the screen as well as in the description box. It pretty much teaches you exactly how to hunt for these freighters, but the general rules are the same as always. It has to be a very rich system, but all the details, as I've said, are in the video that I've posted, and I don't really want to drag this video for too long, so just go ahead and check that one out. I will also post some coordinates in the description box for some very nice looking freighters, and if you want more information there's plenty of it in the Galactic Hub subreddit, but nonetheless this is the only one that doesn't necessarily require a portal coordinate. You can literally find them in any wealthy system, you just need persistence. This is also the guide that I have used for myself in order to find my own freighter, but I will provide you with the necessary coordinates towards places that spawn good looking ones. Nonetheless, you don't really have to rely on them like you did with ships or with the multitools. So this is all that I have for today, everybody. I hope this guide was useful for you. If you have anything on your mind that you'd like to see me make a guide for, then don't hesitate to write it in the comment section below. I will make sure to read all of your comments. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, a like and a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Also don't forget to activate that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time.